Have you noticed that in aquariism, the biggest problems almost never arise at once? They appear gradually, like a fish that stops eating, plants that begin to melt, or that water that never becomes crystal clear no matter how much you clean. Most of the time, this does not happen for lack of dedication. The real cause is in small, routine mistakes, almost always committed without realizing. It's easy to fall into this trap. You follow your routine, think everything is right, but unknowingly, you are doing exactly what compromises the health of your aquarium. And the more time passes, the harder it is to correct. In this video, I will show you the 7 rules that almost every aquarist has broken at some point, and that silently put the whole system at risk. They are common attitudes which seem harmless, but that accumulate negative effects until everything decays. If you want a stable, beautiful aquarium with healthy fish for much longer, understanding these rules is essential. And watch until the end, because the last rule is the most neglected of all, and also the one that generates the most difficult losses to reverse.
1. Not respecting the nitrogen cycle, the error that silently kills fish. One of the most common mistakes among beginners, and also one of the most serious, is not to respect the nitrogen cycle before putting the fish in the aquarium. Many people fill the aquarium with treated water, install the equipment, put the plants, and the next day already want to add the fish. It seems harmless, but it creates a highly toxic environment, even if the water looks clean. The nitrogen cycle takes an average of 3 to 4 weeks to settle. During this time, beneficial bacteria develop on the filter and substrate. They are responsible for turning ammonia, which comes from fish waste, into less toxic compounds such as nitrite and then nitrate. Without these bacteria, ammonia accumulates quickly and poisons the fish. The worst thing is that this process is invisible. The fish seem fine for a day or two until they begin to die without explanation. The anxiety of seeing an aquarium full of life can be expensive. Respecting the nitrogen cycle is not freshness. It's what ensures fish survival from day one. If you skip this step, the aquarium will charge the bill.
2. Overfeeding fish when the excess becomes poison. Feeding fish is, for many people, the most fun part of aquariism. It is at this moment that the fish approach, swim with energy, and create that feeling of interaction. But it is precisely here that many people make mistakes. They feed too much, and this has serious consequences. Leftover feed sinks, rots, and begins to release ammonia and other toxic compounds. Over time, this destabilizes the aquarium, favors the emergence of algae, clogs the filter, and directly harms the health of fish. Even if you don't see the dirt immediately, it's there, affecting water quality every day. The basic rule is simple. Offer only what the fish can eat in 2 to 3 minutes at most. And yet, only once or twice a day, depending on the species. In many cases, less is more. Fish with controlled feeding live longer, get less sick, and the aquarium stays clean for longer. Also, avoid the temptation to give just a little bit more every time you pass through the aquarium. Excess feed is one of the biggest invisible enemies of anyone who wants a healthy and stable aquarium.
3. Overdoing water changes. Good intention that causes imbalance. Changing the water in your aquarium is essential to maintain the quality of the environment, but many people do it the wrong way. In an attempt to clean everything, some aquarists end up changing 70%, 80%, or even more at once. And the result, contrary to expectations, is disastrous. When you make an exaggerated exchange, it removes not only impurities, but also beneficial bacteria that live in the substrate, rocks, filter, and even water itself. These bacteria are responsible for keeping the nitrogen cycle running, controlling toxins like ammonia and nitrite. By removing them abruptly, the system collapses. Chemical parameters change suddenly, fish are stressed, and the environment loses stability. The ideal is to make weekly partial changes from 20 to 30% of the water, always using a conditioner to remove chlorine and chloramines. This renews the nutrients, removes some of the accumulated waste, and maintains the biological balance of the aquarium without shocks. Remember, in aquariism, stability is more important than overcleaning. Crystal clear water is not synonymous with healthy water, and too much zeal can actually hurt more than it helps.
4. Clean the filter in the wrong way. A carelessness that zeros the biological cycle. The filter is the heart of the aquarium, and inside it live the bacteria that keep the system balanced. But many people, without knowing, destroys this balance at the time of cleaning. The mistake? Wash biological media in tap water. The treated water contains chlorine and other chemical agents that instantly kill colonies of beneficial bacteria. These bacteria are responsible for processing ammonia and nitrite, highly toxic substances released by fish waste. By eliminating them, you basically get the aquarium back to square one, as if you were starting the nitrogen cycle from scratch. The right way to clean the filter is simple. Wash the biological media with the aquarium's own water, preferably during a partial exchange. The water may be dirty but has no chlorine, which preserves living bacteria. Already the foams or purlons used for mechanical retention can be washed more vigorously, but biological media must be handled with much more care. This detail makes all the difference between a stable aquarium and a system that lives with peaks of toxins and stressed fish.
5. Overfilling the aquarium, when more is not better. Putting a lot of fish in an aquarium seems, at first glance, something positive. More life, more movement, more color. But in practice, this creates an overloaded environment where filtration, oxygen, and space do not meet the demand. And the result is a cycle of stress, disease, and death. Each fish produces waste. The more fish, more ammonia, more accumulated dirt, more need for constant maintenance. In addition, overcrowding favors territorial disputes, reduces the oxygenation of water, and prevents fish from expressing their natural behaviors. Many become aggressive, apathetic, or vulnerable to infections because of low immunity caused by stress. One of the biggest myths of aquariism is to think that one more fits. But Aquarius is not a showcase. It is an ecosystem, and each liter of water has a limit to support life with quality. The ideal is to respect the capacity of the tank, considering the adult size of each fish, its activity, and its requirements. Fewer fish, well cared for, result in a more beautiful, balanced, and pleasant-to-maintain aquarium. In aquariism, quality of life is worth much more than quantity, and your fish will show this in behavior and health.
6. Mixing incompatible species. A mistake that turns the aquarium into a conflict zone. Not every fish can live with any other. This is a basic rule that many ignore, and it causes constant stress, fights, torn fins, and even silent deaths inside the aquarium. Mixing aggressive species with peaceful or very active fish with slower ones can turn the environment into a battlefield. For example, putting a betta with tetrabiters or joining territorial cichlids with calm fish almost always gives problem. In addition to aggressiveness, it is also necessary to consider factors such as ideal temperature, pH, behavior, size, and swimming level, bottom, middle, or surface. The result of a wrong combination is a tight aquarium where fish live hidden, hurt, or get sick easily. Constant stress knocks down immunity and makes room for infections and parasites. Before buying any new fish, research the compatibility of the species with those you already have. Do not rely only on the store or the quiet appearance of the fish at the time of purchase. A harmonious aquarium depends not only on the beauty of the fish, but on the peaceful coexistence between them. And it starts with information and conscious choices from the very beginning. 7. Ignoring the correct lighting. The balance between life and chaos in the aquarium. Aquarium lighting goes far beyond aesthetics. It directly interferes with plant health, fish behavior, and algae control. Even so, many people treat the light as a detail, turns on and off randomly, uses inappropriate lamps, or leaves the aquarium lit all day, thinking that the more light, the better. And that's where the problems begin. Too much light favors the explosion of algae, which take over the glasses, the substrate, and even the leaves of plants. Already less light compromises the development of natural plants, which end up melting, losing color, or dying slowly. This also affects the balance of the ecosystem, as plants help keep water clean and oxygenated. The ideal is to maintain a routine of 8 to 10 hours of light per day using an automatic timer. This ensures consistency, prevents forgetfulness, and helps plants to maintain their photosynthesis cycle. Also, choose a suitable lighting to the type of aquarium you have, planted, community, or just decorative.
These rules seem simple, but are ignored every day. And who suffer from it are the fish, the plants, and in the end, the aquarist himself. The truth is that keeping a healthy aquarium depends much more on attention to detail than expensive equipment or miracle formulas. Which of these rules have you already broken without noticing? If possible, leave your comment below because your experience can help others too. If this video has helped you in some way, like it, subscribe to the channel, and share with those who are starting or facing problems in the aquarium. Taking good care is always learning, and your aquarium thanks you for that.